Hello. In this video we're going to take a look at how to convert units of measurement. So if we get started, I'm going to draw you a little diagram listing the units of measure for length. So first of all, we're just concentrating on how we measure length. Now the standard unit for this is the metre. Now you should all be familiar with the fact that there is such thing as a centimetre, which is a little bit smaller than a metre, and a millimetre, which is even smaller than a centimetre. And if we're going the other way from a metre, something that's quite a bit bigger than a metre is the kilometre. So first of all, if we just review what we've done with this diagram, we've started with millimetres, getting a little bit bigger to centimetres, a little bit bigger to metres, and then bigger to kilometres. If I draw these arrows on here, going from millimetres to centimetres, from centimetres to metres, metres to kilometres. I'm just going to draw some units on here as well, and if we were converting from millimetres to centimetres, we would divide that number by 10. If we were converting from centimetres to metres, we're going to divide that number by 100. And if we convert from metres to kilometres, we would divide that number by 1000. So you can see this diagram, just based on a couple of rules, starting with the smallest, getting a little bit bigger, bigger and bigger, and then the conversion factors are to get from here to here, you divide by 10, then 100, then 1000. Should be relatively straightforward to draw out. Now if we go and draw some arrows on this way, so to get from here to here, and then from metres to centimetres, from centimetres to millimetres, just there, and we were to draw on how to convert this way around, so from kilometres to metres, we would times by 1000, just there, so exactly the same figure as on the top, but we're just doing a times instead of a divide. Same here, to get from metres to centimetres, we'd times by 100, and to get from centimetres to millimetres, we would times by 10. So that is the simple diagram that we're going to try and remember to help us convert from millimetres to centimetres to metres to kilometres and the other way around, vice versa. So we can use this diagram to convert between any of those measurements. So if we do an example, let's draw the diagram out quickly. I'll show you how quickly we can draw this out. So we've got millimetres, centimetres, metres and kilometres, getting slightly bigger at each stage. So an arrow between each one, backwards and forwards. And to get from there we divide by 10, divide by 100, divide by 1000. And to get this way we times by 1000, times 100, and times 10. There we go. So that's our diagram. That's going to be our instruction. So how we use it is like this. Let's say we had 30 millimetres and we want to convert it into centimetres. So how many centimetres are actually making up this 30 millimetres? So what we do, we have a look what we've got to start with. So we've got millimetres, so we're going to start just here with the millimetres. So I'm going to start there. Now we want to get 2 centimetres, so we have a look at the little arrow that's pointing from millimetres to centimetres, and we have a look what the instruction is just here. So to get from millimetres to centimetres, we're going to divide the number by 10. So quite simply, we're going to do 30 divided by 10, which gives us 3, and that there is our answer. So to get from 30 millimetres to centimetres, it's 30 divided by 10, as it says in our little diagram just there, and that gives us 3 centimetres. So 30 millimetres is 3 centimetres. So I'm just going to get rid of this so we can still see our diagram. Right, let's get straight on to another example. Let's say we had 20 metres and we want to get it into centimetres. So we want to know how many centimetres are actually in this 20 metres. So we have a look what we've got to start with. We've got 20 metres, so this is our starting point. We're starting here. And we want to get to centimetres, so we need the arrow that's pointing this way, just here. So to get from metres to centimetres, we're going to times the number by 100. So we're going to do 20 multiplied by 100. Now, if you're not sure about this, you can use the lattice method of multiplication, or if you're using a functional skills test, you could use a calculator. That's going to give us 2,000. And that there is our answer. So 20 metres is the same as 2,000 centimetres. So by using the diagram here, we can see that we've got our conversion factors written up there in quite a straightforward way, because we've got 10, 100, 1,000, 1,000, 100, 10 to convert between all of them. It's quite a good diagram to remember. As long as you can remember this diagram and you remember how to draw it out straight away, you should never have a problem converting between each unit of length in the metric system. So do another example where, let's say we wanted to convert from, let's say we had 3,000 millimetres and we wanted to convert that into metres. So we have a look at our diagram, we see what we've got to start with. We've got millimetres to start with, and we want to get it to metres. Now, this means that we've got 2 steps to follow to get to metres, because we've got centimetres to get past first. So first of all, if we do 1 step at a time, so we'll get it from millimetres to centimetres first. So to do that, we divide this number by 10. So 3,000 divided by 10 will give us 300. Again, if you want to know how to divide on paper, you can look back at the Bush-Shelter method of division, or if you're doing a functional skills test, you can use your calculator. So that's the first step, step 1, let's call that. So now we have centimetres, that's how many centimetres we have. And to get from that centimetre value to the metre value, we're going to divide it by 100. So we're going to do 2 separate steps just here to get to our answer. And 300 divided by 100 is 3. So we're finally at the metre stage, and that there is our answer. 3,000 millimetres is the same as 3 metres. One more example then. Let's say we had something on the larger end. Let's say we had 3 kilometres, and we want to convert that to millimetres. So we're starting at this end and we've got to get all the way back to this end. So 3 kilometres, what is that in millimetres? We've got kilometres to start with, and we've got 3 different steps to actually carry out there to get back to the millimetres. So let's do 1 step at a time. If we convert this 3 kilometres into metres, we're going to times it by 1,000. Okay. So if we times 3 by 1,000, we get 3,000. So we're at this stage now. So we've done this. We're at this stage just here, metres. And we want to get to centimetres, so we're going to do 3,000 times by 100. That's going to give us 300,000. Okay, so now we're here. One more step to go to get from centimetres to millimetres. We're going to do 300,000, and we're going to multiply it by 10, because that's what it says to do just there. And we have 3 million. It's just a separating comma there, that's not a decimal point. So we've got 3 million millimetres. And that there is our answer. So you can see that there are a lot of millimetres in a kilometre. Because kilometres are so big and millimetres are so small. So just to recap then, this is the diagram that we need to remember. If we can draw this out, smallest unit up to largest unit divided by 10, 100, 1000, and then times by 1000, 100, 10 on the bottom. That'll tell you how to convert between any unit of length at any time.